Is the stuff enough in 4K? Let's talk about it. So, The Stuff stars Michael Moriarty, who you should know from quite a few things. He was in Q the Serpent, and he was also in Law and Order for a few years. He was a well-known alcoholic, and he was unceremoniously dumped, very famously actually, from Law and Order when he was on that. But he is a really good actor. He's a kind of like a method actor. So you can see on the actual screen that a lot of the time, like, he'll make a bit of a flub or just not quite get it right, but he sort of brings it back as well. So, you know, it's just one of those things where you just have to go with the flow, really. But it makes it more authentic as well because, you know, I flub my lines all the time. But thankfully, I can edit most of it on this video. Anyway, so The Stuff, if you've never seen The Stuff, okay, just imagine Killer Ice Cream. So Michael Moriarty plays this ex-FBI character, bit shady, who is paid by other companies, not Cracker Barrel, but, you know, those sort of like companies that they want a bit of espionage. They want to find out the secrets of things. And so what happens is that this stuff called The Stuff, which is like a very addictive ice cream, ends up in the American market and also, well, worldwide really, but mostly American. So Moriarty needs to, who goes by the name Mo, needs to find out for the ice cream barons why the stuff is selling more than ice cream and that. So he starts to do a bit of background research, and he finds out that the stuff, which, it's not a spoiler, it is found in a quarry, a mining quarry. This guy just sees this thing bubbling out of the ground and decides to take a taste of it and goes, this is really good. It's sort of like pavlova, if you've ever had pavlova. But yeah, it's coming seeping out of the ground, and he decides to, hey, you know, we should sell this stuff, you know. And so that's pretty much where it all takes off. And then suddenly there's advertising campaigns, everything for the stuff. Everybody is eating it and buying it. Sort of like Pringles, where, you know, once you pop, you can't stop. So, but there are a few people who aren't eating it, and they're the sane ones. So it's sort of like a bit of a trying to discover what it is. It's alive, okay? It's not I'm not going to spoil any of this because pretty much the script is written by Larry Cohen, directed by Larry Cohen, and produced by Larry Cohen. If you don't know Larry Cohen's work, he did the first, he wrote the Maniac Cop series, and he's sort of like a Roger Corman. He's just slightly lower down on the scale of Roger Corman, in a way of being a producer and a director and everything else. I think probably down the bottom would probably be Ed Wood. So, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Larry Cohen's work. This is one of those exceptions. It's a really fantastic idea. It's just really cheap. But kudos to him. He got it off the ground. And it is sort of like a cult classic. It's one of those films that, I mean, the special effects are horrendous. And I don't mean that in a good way. Some of them are just so laugh out loud funny. I'm amazed this movie never ever made it out to, like, you know, Mystery Science Theater or something like that. A lot of the storyline in it too makes absolutely no sense. but that's typical of Larry Cohen. But anyway, this movie is really, really good. And even though a lot of it doesn't make a lick of sense, picking ice cream, come on guys, but because a lot of this doesn't make sense, it's very comic booky. So if you can read a comic book, and you're going to notice that there's going to be a few frames missing, a few panels missing, then you should be able to enjoy this film. It's only a short one. It's actually less than 90 minutes, and this is the 4K representation of this film, Arrow Blu-ray that they released a long time ago, which comes with a lot of the extras that are on this disc as well. And I think that this one alternately comes with a different cut with 30 minutes for a pre-cut launch that they were going to do, and then they've cut it down. So, but I've got to say, like, the production values, even though it is cheap and everything, it's very well done. The way that they've produced, they make the stuff, it's like Coke. It's that sort of brand, and there are a few nods to the other brands as well. This whole movie is about consumerism and anti-consumerism, and just the fact that they just don't care about what it is going in your stomach. They do not care, or into your nervous system. They really, really don't. And so this is one of those films that I would say is a near classic. I'd say at least it's a cult classic. And if you haven't seen the stuff, I really highly recommend seeing it. You'll laugh at a few of the really bad effects in this movie. This is a really good film. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. It's well worth your time. The 4K is... well, if you got the Blu-rays, I'd probably, and it's not a real film it's not the sort of film that you'd probably watch again and again, then I'd hold off on the 4K, but it's actually not bad. It's not a bad transfer of that 4K. So anyway, that's enough of the stuff. Please remember to like and subscribe. Who am I? Well, I'm not the stuff, I'm Matt Pot, and I'll see you next time.